Feels good, you know, it feels good knowing, you know, what we had to do to get here, but also job's not finished.
Welcome into Teal, the show. You heard it from Trevor Lawrence, job's not finished. It gives you that Kobe Bryant during the finals with the Lakers kind of vibe. Job's not finished.
That's right.
Is the job finished? Job's not finished.
It's not finished, and I tell you what, I love hearing them talk. I think they're at a good place of mind. I think their framework is right. Those guys are ready to play this game. I really believe that.
Yeah, this is a big one. We've talked about it leading up to it. We even chatted on this show about where we thought this game would be played. NFL flexed it. It's a Saturday night game at TIAA Bank Field. The Jaguars don't get a whole lot of primetime action, so I know fans around Jacksonville are buzzing for what's going to be a big game on a Saturday night, primetime action.
I'm telling you, Jamal, I don't think we've had a night like this in Jacksonville in the longest time. I've been here for the whole thing. There have been a handful of them, but there have been very few that feel like this one's going to feel. The fans are jacked up. They're going to sell more tickets. Wait till you see how many tickets they announce that they have sold for this thing. It'll be Jaguar fans, though, not the opponent fans. I'm telling you, this is going to be a night. It's going to be a rock star show. It's going to be the Rolling Stones plus Monster Jam plus Florida, Georgia, all kind of rolled into one. This is going to be an amazing night, and I think everybody's excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing atmosphere for the game. The one thing that's going to be really different for this one, Frank, is the kickoff time being a little bit later. The guys have kind of gotten used to that 1 o'clock kick, so they're going to have to adjust a little bit to playing under those bright lights on Saturday night.
A night game with all the implications on the line, I mean, it don't. I've never been in a situation like this, so I'm really excited. I'm really excited to go out there with my brothers for sure.
I feel like I'm gonna be very excited for the night game, especially just being my first one in the NFL and first one in here in Jacksonville in a long time. So I feel like everybody's gonna be tuned in with everything on the line, and I just want to go out there and just show the world who I am.
There was a lot of anticipation, you know, waiting all day, getting out underneath the lights, and you know, playing you know, at nighttime, especially in a home crowd, and a game that everybody's excited about. This is a championship game. It's a playoff type atmosphere, so you know, definitely one that you know, we're all looking forward to.
Now, one thing that comes with the primetime action is a lot of eyes, and you know, these guys are used to playing on big stages, but this stage may be even a little bit bigger. They've been going down the journey to get to this Week 18. They've been eyeing it for a while, so it's understandable that they might be just a little bit extra nervous when this one starts.
I can tell you this, Doug Peterson is a great play caller. He's a great X's and O's guy. He's a football guy. But I think he might be even a better psychologist. He understands the human emotion. He understands the psychology, and he's done a great job of managing the emotion. I told him this week when I was with him, I think you've done a better job of that than I think any coach I've ever seen. He's been that good at that. So he knows. He had to get him up last week because they were looking ahead. Everyone was looking ahead to this game. There weren't many people there at Houston. It was kind of a dead atmosphere. Well, this is just the opposite. People are going to be losing their mind. So don't blow it in pregame. Don't get too hyped up. Relax, pace yourself, and Doug's the right guy to manage that with his football team. I really believe that.
And I think you nailed it. Talking to the guys in the locker room, all of them are saying that, you know, they've never been in a game with these sort of implications, but none of them seem rattled. They're all ready to go and excited to be able to take the field and go show what they can do in the primetime action.
I think you want to, you know, keep your emotions in check, especially during the week. I think our energy's been great in our preparation and in practice, and having fun with this week. A lot of guys have been in the situation. A lot of guys haven't been in the situation, so it's a good mix of energies and emotions. But I think the coaches have done a great job of just keeping us honed in, putting together a great plan for us to lock into, and the guys know what we got to go do. And you know, we're playing good ball right now. We're playing with a lot of confidence, and we're preparing with a lot of confidence. So I think it's been a good energy-focused week for sure.
We got to do a good job of really not getting too excited before the game, and really just staying at that airplane mode kind of level, not too high, not too low, kind of that just cruise control level. So yeah, it's gonna be hard, but hey man, it's gonna be turned once everything get turned on.
All right, now everybody wants to see the Jaguars walk out with a win. If they're going to do that, we know that the one thing you have to always worry about when you play the Titans is Derrick Henry. And of course, he's from Yulee, not too far from Jacksonville, so he's coming home of sorts. Has a lot of big games here in Jacksonville. He is threat numero uno.
There is less mystery about this game than there's been for any setup of any game. Think about it for a second. Always when you play the Titans, you got to be tough. They're physical. They're going to turn it into a wrestling match and want to play in a phone booth, and they're always going to run Derrick Henry at you. But now even more so, they don't have Ryan Tannehill, who never gets hurt, but now is hurt. So Joshua Dobbs, who hasn't played very much, he's only been on the team for about 17 days. He now has to be the quarterback. He's only thrown 50-some-odd pro passes. So look, You know now, if you were ever getting Derrick Henry, you're really getting him now. I think that's got to be the Titans' game plan. Try and keep it a close game and be able to continue to run Derrick Henry. If you're the Jags and you get ahead, well, then you take that option away from the Titans. It's going to be a lot of Derrick Henry, no question about it.
Yeah, and that's what they have to worry about. They have to make sure that they play Derrick Henry the way they played in the second half of the last game rather than the beginning of that last Titans matchup.
We up for the challenge. We did some good things to them last game that, you know, just like you said, it's going to take all 4 quarters to keep doing those same things. It can't be a mistake or two here just because that game is just this much more, I would just say, important.
Stick around. We've got more Teal the Show to come. Coming up after the break, we'll talk a little bit about a former Jaguars running back and maybe make a case for him to eventually get into Canton. That's straight ahead when Teal the Show returns. All right, welcome back into Teal the Show. This week, the Pro Football Hall of Fame named their 15 finalists, and again, Fred Taylor left off that list. Fred Taylor, one of the greatest running backs in Jaguars history. I think Fred Taylor is a Hall of Famer. I think you're going to agree with me on this one, right, Frank?
There's no doubt in my mind. Fred belongs in, and Fred's going to go in. It's going to take a little longer than he wants or than any of us want, but make no mistakes about this. Fred Taylor is a Hall of Famer, and he belongs in the Hall of Fame. Here's the problem. When Fred played, there were a lot of AFC backs that people knew more in the conference because they were winning more and playing in bigger franchises, more known teams. Jerome Bettis, Curtis Martin, Edgerrin James. They kept going to the Pro Bowl. Well, Fred didn't get too many Pro Bowls. For that, I think he only went to 1. And for that reason, people didn't know him as well. That's a shame because I think he's better than all 3 guys I just named. I really believe that. Fred belongs in the Hall of Fame. I do think he'll be the next running back to go in. It just comes down to when the next running back goes. I'm disappointed he's not in the 15 this year, but he will be. I know that.
And, you know, all of the finalists are extremely talented players that have had great careers. I want to go ahead and say that. But Fred Taylor had a great career as well. Over 2,500 carries and averaged over 4.6 yards per carry. Only 2 players in NFL history have done that. Barry Sanders, Fred Taylor. That's the list.
And watch the tape, Jamal. Watch it. If you don't believe it, you've seen the numbers. Go watch him. You can watch anything on YouTube now, right?
Right.
Go on YouTube and watch this guy. People didn't run like... You know when you watch Barry Sanders, you go, whoa, nobody ran like that?
Right.
Nobody ran like Fred Taylor, I'm telling you.
Fred Taylor is a Hall of Famer. Hopefully he'll get in there sooner rather than later. But you know one thing that can help his case a little bit? Success from current Jaguars on the field. They go on and have playoff success, make runs into the championship games of sorts. That sort of publicity and positive picture would help Fred Taylor's case just a little bit.
There's no question. I think the more prominent and relevant the Jags become today, the more people think about the Jaguars. I don't think there's any question. They keep winning. That helps his cause.
All right. So let's talk about the big game that's coming up tomorrow night. I know everybody's vibrating about it. The fans are extremely excited. The tailgating is going to start from all indications at like 1 o'clock outside the bank for an 8 o'clock kick. Frank, this is going to be an atmosphere like we haven't seen here in Jacksonville in a long time.
There's no question. I really do think that. I think what you said is right. It's going to feel like a college game. You know, when Tennessee comes to the Swamp, it feels like that. Back in the day when FSU Miami played, it felt like that. Florida Georgia still feels like that. But pro games tend to not feel like that. They're played in the day. They're played early in the day. This is going to feel like a concert. This is going to feel like a college game. And you're exactly right about that. I think people are going to tailgate all day long. It's going to be cool, but a beautiful day. I'm going to get down there early. By the way, I'm pretty busy at night, but during the day I'm going to be watching that thing, and I'm going to see how everybody I just want to watch the party unfold. I think it's going to be a special day.
All right. Now, one of the big things for the Jaguars that first go around was Trevor Lawrence's play. Of course, he was dealing with a toe injury that week and then went out and had a bang-up game, proved something to the world maybe. I think they need another performance like that from him on Saturday night.
Well, here's why. Number one, it's a big game. Don't forget, the Titans get in too if they win.
Right.
I know they've lost a bunch in a row. They've lost 6 in a row, but if the Titans win this game, they're the champion. So it's not like only one team has something to play for. Secondly, they're physical up front. I don't think the Jags are going to run a lot on them, at least not to start the game. So I think Trevor's going to have to throw it. I think this is a game you're going to have to throw the football because I don't think you're going to run a whole lot in this game. You better believe Trevor Lawrence is.
Well, hey, Doug Peterson might have been trying to give a little extra juice to that running game. He named Travis Etienne today as the extra captain for this week's game, maybe saying, hey, Travis, we'd like to get you going to, in that night game on Saturday night. Why don't you be a captain? Go out on the field, feel it, and show everybody what you can do. All right, Frank, we've picked these games every week. I'm going to put you in an interesting position on this one because during the winning streak, we kind of just sided with we'll pick against them and go for good karma. Last week, we broke that. Everything was okay, even though we picked the Jaguars to beat the Texans. What you going to do this week?
Last week, we broke the streak.
Yes.
So now I can say what I really think. Okay. I couldn't say what I really thought before. the Jags are going to beat the Titans. I think they have a better team. I respect the Titans. I mean that, Jamal. I have great respect for who they are, the toughness with which they play. I think Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the NFL, and they are a hard-nosed team that plays hard and plays tough, and it will not be easy. Joshua Dobbs or no Joshua Dobbs, this one will not be easy because the Titans won't let it be easy. Right. But the Jags have the better team, and I think they're going to win the game, and I think they're going to host a playoff game a week from this weekend.
I'm right there with you, Frank. I think the Titans are a very good team. I love Mike Vrabel as a coach. I think he's one of the better coaches that doesn't get enough respect around the NFL for the job he does. But I think they're beat up. I don't think the quarterback play is going to be good enough. I fully believe the Jaguars are going to roll in there, and I think this is going to be a big win with a lot of Jaguars points on the scoreboard and not that many Titans points on the scoreboard. A rather one-sided game is what I'm thinking is coming this way.
Well, that's what the Jags need, a game where there's some scoring.
Yeah.
The Jags don't need a game where it's 13-10 early fourth, because that keeps the Titans in it. That allows them to keep running Derrick Henry, and that allows them to gain some confidence. The Jags need a game where it's in the 20s or 30s, and I think we're going to see that.
I think you're right on that one, Frank. All right, there's one more sleep till the big game here in Jacksonville. We will see you there on Saturday. Thanks for tuning in for Teal the Show. Frank, thanks for being here. Good night, and go Jags.